Hey guys, welcome to my new filming spot. So we're gonna be filming in this spot for now on, um, and well, let's dive into it. Welcome to 6 months of tea, and it's been a roller coaster the past 2 weeks. Um, I did post kind of a thing for the comments. Anybody who missed out on that, you should go see it because I put some really good messages into that. And then I'm also trying to give that for people who are going through the transition as well, but are also struggling with the hateful speech and people feeling the need to put their opinions in. And even though you've already obviously made your decision, and I mean, if you're on testosterone or estrogen, you probably have been debating it for a good chunk of time and flip-flopped back and forth in your mind. It's not the type of thing that somebody can just jump into and be like, yeah, so I just chose yesterday that I'm gonna be doing this. No, it's like something we think about for a very long time. So in the last video, I also said it was leading up to Thanksgiving. So I did go down to Mass, had dinner with my family. My dad made all the food. It was really good. I think he said he's never made the turkey before. I'm not fully sure. I don't remember exactly, but he put bacon on it. It was fucking great. But yeah, I just basically did a tiny little Thanksgiving with my dad and my grandma. It was very quiet, a little awkward. You could tell we were all kind of just missing my mom. Um, because my mom would be sitting there being all hoarding of the potatoes and the turkey and anything else that my dad made. I got to try my dad's Brussels sprouts. It was actually really good. I like Brussels sprouts now, so that's fun. And then of course he made some mashed potatoes, and I'm sitting there so I get to run away with the whole pot, right? And he's like, I made extra. You're not doing that. Well, my grandma cut in and she was like, yeah, you're gonna have to fight me for that. And I was like, okay, yeah, whatever. Sure. um, but the day of Thanksgiving was totally fine. It was pretty much how I remembered it as a kid, so that was enjoyable. My grandma had a couple moments of misgendering me. Then the day after, we kind of had a little bit of a blowout, which sucked for my dad because he took it as he's doing something nice, and then everyone chose to do or have bad attitude and stuff. So, I mean, it wasn't really my dad's fault. He was trying to do something nice. He was trying to get the three of us together, even though I don't get along with my grandma. My dad doesn't really get along with my grandma. We just kind of put up with her, and that's unfortunate, but kind of the truth at the moment because she has a lot of shit she needs to work through, but she's at an older age where she probably really won't. So, but I don't know. Maybe she will. Maybe she will. Because when we did have a blowout a little bit, I was starting to notice, since I was listening to the dark psychology book that kind of gave me advice on how to spot gaslighting, manipulation, and other bad stuff like that. So I started noticing she was trying to do that. So then I started putting her into her place and being like, okay, stop self-sabotaging yourself. Stop doing this. Stop doing that. And she got to the point where she was kind of starting to hear me, because I could tell she was just trying to make it all about her, and it wasn't about her, all the situations that she was making about her. And so I kind of was like, not everything's about you. You need to stop making everything about you. You're fine. The things that I'm doing is for me, not necessarily about you. And my dad ended up telling my grandma about the episode that I recorded on my podcast that was about her, which is all my childhood trauma, and she was getting all butthurt about it. But that, if she's gonna get upset about that, I am not going to take responsibility for her feelings, because of the fact that that's my process of working through it. Yes, I have exposed the things that she has done in the past, but she possibly also has Alzheimer's, or at least she's losing her memory. She doesn't remember any of the stuff that um, I recorded in that. But we also didn't really talk about it too much, so it possibly didn't even spark any like, memories. But I have also talked about this in the past with her, all the stuff that I recorded on that episode, and she, in that period, also said that she didn't remember any of it. So, abusers don't usually remember everything that they do, unfortunately, because they are out of control and can't control their own actions and can also be disassociating and not even realize what they're doing. I can relate because of the situation that I was in with Emma, my previous ex. This is probably stuff that I should talk about more on my podcast than so much on here, but I just wanted to like touch base on it, kind of like give a little bit of like a update on it. It is stuff that I'll talk about in my podcast again at some point, but at the moment I just wanted to kind of give you like a little bit of like what happened and like what's going on. I was also trying to sell my car. It was kind of unsuccessful because of the fact that the owner before me blew out the airbags, and I didn't know this, so it decreased the value of my car by a lot. So I'm trying to still sell it, but not sell it through like a dealership because the dealership isn't gonna give me nearly as much. But we'll see. Because it's still a really good car, it would be really good for any like teenager or like person who just wants to run it into the ground. I just want to be able to get enough that I can get through the next couple months of being unemployed. So that's mainly my goal. Let's see. Besides that, there hasn't been too much that's gone on. I did cut my hair because I am getting a lot more warm, and having this like thinner, shorter part on the sides makes it a lot better for me because I'm able to just put my hair up and then this cools me down, and then I can put this down and it'll keep me warm. So it's great if I just want to like walk my dog, I just take it down because it'll be cold. Or if I'm doing a lot of like work and moving stuff around, which I've been, I donated and have shipped off a bunch of things. I am in the process of just decluttering. I'm trying to get rid of shit because I want to live on a boat next year. Hopefully, we'll see how it goes. The goal is next year, and I'm just trying to get it so I really don't have a lot of stuff, and anything that I leave behind mainly will just be in my bedroom space. So I am trying to get it to that level. Um, so at the moment, it's just declutter, sell, 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 make as much as we can, put as much away, and try to see how investments work and assets and see what kind of stuff can get more for me in the future. So, yeah, hoping for the best and stuff. I don't have much else other than that to update you guys on. It's kind of a more positive aspect. I mean, I still did have like the mental drawback of after driving down to Mass and hanging out with my family, where I have a whole depression week where I literally can't get myself to do anything. And I mean, I can get myself to do like a couple things here and there, but it's usually the bare minimum for getting like doing the dishes or my laundry and stuff. I finally caught up on all my laundry, so um I've been pretty consistent on making sure once I have one load ready, I just wash it. And that'll be great for like future decluttering because I still have a lot of clothes. I used to have a really bad obsession with clothing and I had a shopping addiction, so hence why I have so much shit. Um, so I'm trying to sell as much as I can, and at this point, um, I just want enough to fill my closet, and then everything else can go. Like anything that's like leggings, dresses, tights, skirts, um, some tank tops that were very femininely cut, and then like any other shirts that are like very femininely cut. I've also like taken out of my closet. So everything in my closet now is very like non-binary masculine based. There's some stuff that's in there that's still kind of like, I don't know why I'm keeping this. Like, I have a lot of band tees, and as I've gotten older, I don't really feel band tees are really appropriate to wear anymore. And I don't really want clothes that are kind of like, oh, it's like seasonal, or it's like this is only for this time of year to wear. Like, I had a couple shirts that were like Grinch shirts and stuff, so I got rid of those because I was just like, nah, I don't like having a shirt that I can only wear like one part of the year. Like, I want all seasonal clothing, um, plain clothing, or like button downs. I'm like super into skulls and like mortality and like death. I like flowers and floral print stuff still, so there's that. I kept some of my. I'm not gonna be getting rid of my Linkin Park shirts because Linkin Park is my all-time favorite band. So that's the only shirts that I will not get rid of that are band shirts. Um, I also still have some like Doctor Who or like Supernatural, some SpongeBob here and there because I love SpongeBob. I have a couple Rick and Morty's. Um, and that's basically the main parts of it, but I also still have a lot of pants, which I was actually surprised by that still fit me, because like my structure is changing on my lower part of my body, so like my calves don't really fit into my skinny jeans too much anymore. Like, it's way too tight. I feel like I'm being suffocated. Same with my thighs. My thighs are a lot more beefier as well. So then I just like put on these like skinny jeans, and I'm just like, whoa, so this is what it's like to be a thick bitch. um because I remember like girls in my middle school, or like there wasn't really a changing room in high school, so I'm just thinking of like middle school, where they like put on their jeans and then they have like the little button imprints that's on their belly because their jeans are so tight. And it's like, I never had that issue, so like now that I'm starting to have that issue, I see how unpleasant it is, and I'm like, why would they torture themselves like this? Like, just get a pants size up so then it's not like suffocating you. I much rather wear a belt than like have to be like suffocated by pants. Like, that's just me, but I don't know. I'm not one that likes tight clothing too much anymore. It feels very uncomfortable and constricting, unless it's like spandex kind of thing, so it like moves with you. So there's that. That's kind of like came a bit more prominent, but it's like this has still slowly been a progression. When I first got into girls' clothing, I was like, tight everything, tight everything. And like, I remember this one day where I was like sitting on the couch, and like my boobs developed very nicely. And I was just like kind of sitting there like on my phone, and my dad looked over and he's like, damn, when did you get boobs? And I'm just like, I don't know, they just kind of developed or something. They're there. I don't know. It was a very odd moment. It was kind of, it made me feel good kind of at the time because I liked the boobs, but like everything else, like the boobs were the only thing that I really liked. So everything else I was just kind of like, maybe my butt. I liked my boobs, and I liked my butt in the past, and like I liked getting a rise out of guys from it. Like, I like teasing guys at that point, which I still don't mind doing that, but I'm less into guys and more into girls. So I mean, if a girl was into that kind of stuff on me, then I'd just be like, oh, cool, all right. But like guys, I'm just kind of like, nah, still kind of not really. I know I'm still like bi. I do like some guys, but again, when it comes to guys, it's got to be like a very feminine or very emotionally in touched guy. Like, it can't just be some like hairy, beefy dude who don't admit emotions and can't connect to things, and like very standoffish and very not open to things and stuff changing and progression. And yeah, it's just it doesn't vibe with me. Like, you gotta have an open mind. um but yeah, and so this is my mom's. I am wearing this. This is way too big for me, so I tied this knot on like each side, and actually like fits a lot nicer, and I like it like that. So yeah. But yeah, this is like my mom's style at the end of her life, which kind of resembles a non-binary person's style, which I thought was very interesting, because when I was non-binary, this would have been stuff that I would have bought and been like, "Ooh, I really like this." And like, since I'm still non-binary to like trans mask, um then this still vibes with me because I am non-binary still. Even though I mainly tell everybody that I meet I am a guy, he, him kind of thing, I am still non binary. I still go by they, they, which they is not a common pronoun, which I don't think I've touched too much into my pronouns too much. I think maybe like once or twice I've talked about it, but like my pronouns are they, and he, him. So I have a collection of pronouns that I like to use. Zay is probably my favorite one out of them all to use, but that's the least common one I tell people because that one is not known at all, pretty much, except for people who also use it or also know. So there's that. I'm trying to think of other things that I can talk about, but I think that's pretty much it for like updates and stuff. Just kind of like cleared out my closet. Um, I also went through all my underwear, um, which when you start developing changes down here, your bikini cut underwears and your thongs may not fit the same because of the fact that your clitoris is starting to change shape and like be more prominent, and then you also have a little bit more of your labia starting to develop and like sitting a little bit more far forward and like protruding more. So luckily I have never really been too much into bikini cuts. I usually only use those types for when I was on my period because it held the pad properly up against me and made it so spillage didn't really happen as much. But my go-to underwears were boy shorts or boxers. So I didn't really own any boxers because boxers are expensive, dude. Like, they're very expensive. Like, you wouldn't expect them to be expensive, but they are expensive. Like, you get a 3-pack for like 18 to 25 bucks. And like, you go to Target and you get like girls underwear, boy shorts or whatever, and you can get like 5 pairs for that much, maybe even more if you get like one of those like granny panty multi-pack or like the Fruit of the Loom packs or something like that. Then you can get like 6 or 7 or maybe even 8 or 10. Like, women's underwear is cheaper, dude, so keep that in mind. So I've been like going through, and like, you have to change basically your whole entire wardrobe when you are trans. So it's like, does everything still fit? Do my arms fit properly in this? Is it gonna squeeze me to death because now I have more muscle up here? So it's like, is this gonna suffocate this? Am I gonna like both burst a seam if I try to flex or something? Am I gonna like bend over and my pants gonna rip because now I have like more ass or something because the factor distribution's changing a little bit, which I work out as too, so I'm trying to like keep everything toned. So it's like that. And then it's like, if I squat weird, am I gonna like burst a seam in there? Or like, if I try running in these, am I gonna burst a seam there? It's like, you gotta pay attention to this. What if you got pants and you got sizes that are a little bit bigger, those are probably going to be your go-tos. So um just keep that in mind. Also, like, spandex kind of feels a little weird, especially once you start developing a little bit more hair. I've gotten a little bit hair around my ankles now, not too much, but there's like a little bit. I don't know why it's starting at like my ankles here. It's not too much for throughout the rest of my leg yet, but it's like right here, and it's like a little odd. And then it's like kind of a little bit here, so it's kind of like creeping down while creeping up. It's like somehow it's gonna meet in the middle. I also did have to do my first shave for my lip here. um, my dad did notice that I was starting to get like a mustache, so I think it's starting to hit him a little bit that I am a guy and I am trans. Like, I enjoy shaving here, and like being a female, my dad used to ask me, when are you gonna shave your legs? And I'm just like, no, I'm not gonna shave my legs. Why the fuck would I shave my legs? Why? And shaving my armpits was like more okay. But that was like the only thing that I shaved. I didn't like shaving anything else. I mean, my pubic area, I usually like to keep at like half an inch long, but that's about it. I don't like to cut it down to the skin, and I don't like to have it too long because then it gets itchy and like stuff gets stuck in it. So there's that. So for hair wise, I pretty much would only like maintain my face and like my pubic area. The rest of me, it can be as hairy as it wants. I do not care. Except for my chest. I really don't want a hairy chest. So I'm crossing my fingers and hoping that doesn't develop. My dad doesn't have a hairy chest, so I might be on the safe side of not having a hairy chest. We will see. um, but let's see. Um, I think that's pretty much it for like updates. That's kind of like fun and stuff right now. I'm enjoying like all the changes that I have, and I very much enjoy being a guy. Like, I enjoy the maintenance for being a guy. I enjoy not having periods. Um, I enjoy my deep voice. I enjoy the facial hair. I enjoy the leg hair. I enjoy what's changing down here in this area. Um, I enjoy the muscles. I enjoy feeling strong. Um, yeah, I just enjoy being a guy. That pretty much sums it up. And I love guy clothing. It's so comfortable. I like boxers. They're really comfortable. Um, yeah. Mm, I don't know what else to say. And I also like, since I've started on tea, I mean, beforehand I knew that I needed to stop being like addicted to shopping and stuff, and being a maximalist, having like everything in the world possible, and like, oh, a new thing came out. Oh my god, I need it, kind of thing. But now I've taken a 180 with the shopping. Like, I look at things and I'm just like, everything is junk. Like, I don't need any of this. Like, once you start going into the I need to declutter, get rid of everything, you start looking at everything differently, because you look at it and you're like, is it gonna just sit around and collect dust? Which a lot of times, unfortunately, when you have crystals, I love crystals. They're gorgeous, and I love minerals and all that. But most of the time, they just sit there and collect dust, which makes me really sad, because I feel that that's disrespectful to the mineral and the earth and the crystal and stuff, in a way, because it deserves to be like honored and showcased, and like in some sort of fancy showcase glass or something where they look fancy and clean and all that. Which, I mean, maybe someday I will get like a case, and I'll showcase all my minerals and crystals, and which actually I have just cleared out both of the dressers that I had in here, because I just want everything in my closet. I like being able to like slide through everything and see everything, except for like underwear and socks. Like, I have one dresser now for that. I used to have two, and then I used to have like so much that it would overflow out of it. It was ridiculous. Um, I filled up 6 trash bags, not even small trash bags, like the industrial construction trash bags. I filled up 6 of those, of just clothing that I wanted to get rid of. I don't know how I got that much clothing, because I only had one closet full of clothing when I moved here. I think it's because I had like 2, 3 dead people's clothing that I also acquired. So then I got like whole different other extra wardrobes, and I'm sitting here like, okay, yeah, lots of clothes. I was so happy about it. Now I'm just like, nah. And I finally got my upstairs guest bedroom cleared out. I just need to work on a mural. So, yay, progress. Woo! We're doing it. I'm better. I'm in better spirits right now because like my mental depression of after hanging out with people is fading away. Unfortunately, I'm gonna be hanging out with people again this upcoming week, so we'll see how I am after that. But yeah, empath. I really need to figure out how to like deal with my empath energies and like other people's energies and making sure it stays with them, not coming to me and affecting me, because I really don't like having to be depressed for a whole entire week after seeing people. I'm a huge introvert. I do very good by myself. I do very good alone. I thrive on my own for sure. But yeah, let's get into this tea stuff. Let's do my injection. So, I have also learned I am a wussy when it comes to doing an injection in my belly now. Because I have to insert the needle like all the way, not halfway. So I'm sitting there like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it in my stomach anymore. So you guys are gonna see it in my thighs from now on. I do not like doing it in my stomach. It's so sensitive. I don't know why it's so sensitive now, but it does not like it there. So yeah. And also I did go to the Walgreens again. The newer one, the not same one that I first went to when I first started off. And I literally needed everything. I needed needles, I needed syringes, I needed my testosterone, which I got enough in this probably just for this week. And then I'll be moving on to the new one. But yeah, and I was sitting there, I was like, yeah, I literally need everything. And the lady's like, okay, let me check. And I did have a couple doctor's appointments, so I knew that like it was gonna work, it was gonna go through, and there was not gonna be any problems because I talked with my doctor and make sure that like I was gonna be able to still get more syringes, still get some more needles, get more tea, which you're supposed to have. One of these bottles is supposed to last 3 months, which I think I said when I first switched over to this one. And so, yeah, it's been going good. I have not experienced any swelling since I've been inserting the needle completely, like I should be. So that's a positive. And yeah, it's just going good. It's going good, guys. Looking up from here. Looking up. And yeah, got that stuff nice and warm. Yeah. Alright, so that guy's nice and toasty. I'm starting with the pink boy needle. And I finally finished one of my laundry detergent bottles. Oh, I need to get air in here. Hello. And so now I have a proper container for my needle disposal. So that's really good. What in the world? There's rubber floating around inside here now. I was like, what is floating in here? It's just rubber. And I also upped my dose to 0.25. So 50 ml, I think, is how that measurement is. I'd have to double check on that. No bubbles. There's a couple little itty bitty bubbles. Rubber bits. I can see why they before I switched to this one, they would be like, no, don't go and use the same bottle twice, because of the fact that you can get little itty bitty rubber bits. Makes more sense now. But now I use one bottle for the whole entire 3 months. So the next bottle will be over after I've been on it for 9 months. Or approximately that. Alright. So, let's get you up through this needle. There we go. And that is at 2.5. I don't know if you guys can see that, but hopefully you can. As I drop it almost, my goodness. Let's not drop it. Well, we are going to put the cover back over it while I wipe my leg, so. Alright, so today I am wearing boxers. I'm just gonna pull all my pants down to make it easier. It's just boxers, guys. It's fine. So, I'm just gonna do this leg right here. Got my, oh, this one's the one I already used, okay. Got my jug of alcohol for swabbing. Ah! Well, my leg's clean. Screw the Q-tip. I'm just gonna dump it on my leg. I don't have a towel nearby or anything, do I? Oh, I do. That was convenient. Alright. That's not even where I wanted to swab either. Well, my whole leg is clean now. Still got the Q-tip. This is where I wanted to do it. Not all the way down here. We're doing it up here. Alright, so. Get her done. Alrighty. And we gotta stick it all the way in. Make sure you remember that, guys. All the way in. Alright. All the way in. So I felt the liquid a little bit when I was like halfway pumping it through. And it's not the most pleasant feeling. It kind of feels, I don't know, it just kind of feels like energy in a way. It just feels like energy. Yep. Everything's energy, guys. Everything. All right, where did my swabby dude go? There he is. Which one's the left? That's the left side. All right, we got our bead of blood. That's how we know we did it right. It feels a little firm, which is fine. It's expected. Always kinds of feels a little firm after you get an injection. That's how it be. I'm just gonna let it kind of sit and do its thing. Create its little personalized band-aid or something like that. I actually might have enough in here for like 1 more week. I thought I only had like enough previously in here for like 1 more week. Might actually be like 2 weeks. So, I I got the new thing a little bit early. That's okay. I rather have it on hand and ready to go than have to sit here and worry about it. So, key thing, when you notice it's starting to get a little low, just go and get some more. Just because, like, if you have only 1 or 2 weeks, or maybe even 3 weeks left of like your testosterone left, and you know that you're gonna have an issue or something with the pharmacy, you might as well go figure out, are you going to have an issue with it to start with, or are we gonna be okay? Because you want to get that out of the way as soon as possible, and that way, if you do need to go in for a doctor's appointment to get them to rewrite a prescription or something for your testosterone, at least you're able to think ahead and know that, like, you still have like a couple weeks worth, so you know you're okay. um that's kind of been the way I've been hearing about it, because I've heard so many people be like, oh yeah, I have like 1 more week left, and then they go to try to get it, and then the pharmacy is like, nah, we can't do it, or something, and the insurance can't cover it, or this, that, and the other thing. And it's like, okay, cool, great. And then it's like 2 or 3 weeks worth of fighting with the doctors and the prescriptions and then the pharmacists and then all that. And it's like, now you've lost 2 doses and you're now set back 2 weeks or something like that than where you should have been. So just keep that in mind. It can get a little hairy here and there, unfortunately. Um, it happens. Um, or I have had, when I was still at the Hannafords that I was going to, they did give me like the runaround a couple times. So it definitely will happen to you at least once or twice, maybe, unless you are in an area that's very accepting of like trans people and very like friendly towards it. When I went to the Walgreens this time, they were very kind, and they were very accepting, and they were trying to be very quiet, hush hush about like what they were trying to give me. And then once I said out loud what I was, they were all like, oh, okay, this person doesn't really care that they're like saying it and like doing it out loud and stuff. So um then they were able to get me all the stuff that I was asking for. They got me the needles, they got me the syringes, they got me the testosterone, and I was able to walk away with it that day. So I'm happy that I was able to get it all sorted out, and I knew that it was going to work out well. So I'm glad that I had it done and I got it done. And they also asked me how long my bottle should last me for, and I said it should last me about 3 months. And she went and talked to the pharmacist, and she sounded like it was fine, and that's the way it should, because that's what my doctor told me. I'm going to use that until it's completely gone. I could throw it out right now because I already got my next thing, but I want to use this till it's gone, and then I want to start that. So that's kind of how the flow of what I'm doing right now is. And plus, like, I emergency use, I do still have the other one that I do have reactions to on hand if necessary. Worst comes to worst, I still have a backup tea that I can use. Tea in general is important to have versus no tea. So that's my thought process with that as well. And so this little guy looks like he's about done. So that is 6 months, guys. Here is the before and after pictures of what I looked like at the beginning of my journey here and what I look like now. Obviously, I'm gonna look more masculine because of my haircut. I also just sound different. I feel different. I feel myself. I feel happier. I feel more confident and comfortable being myself. So I appreciate you guys like watching this and supporting me and watching me through my journey. And I'm hoping this can open people's eyes up to seeing that like it's not a disease and it's not a bad idea if people are trans. Like we're people too. We just have different things going on, and yes, maybe in my past I've had traumas, but just because I have trauma doesn't mean that's what caused me to be trans. I was born trans. I always played with boys' toys even before I had traumas. So I've always been a boy, and I've always known it too. Like, kids know it. Don't underestimate kids. They know more than you think they do. So that's all for you for today, guys. I'll end this, let you guys look at like the two pictures for a good like 5-10 seconds or so that you can see the differences. And again, thank you again for your support. And if you guys want to find me on my other socials, I'll link them in the description below, as I do in every video. If you want to turn people off and away from leaving terrible comments, send them to my 5.5-month video, because that's a really good video, and I'm actually quite happy with what I said in that. If you want people to stop being so rude and have their opinions kept to themselves because they're going to expose themselves if they are going to do that, again, send them to my 5.5 months, because that had some good messages in it. So, love you all. Hope you all have a great day. I hope you guys can experiment and learn more about yourselves through me or through the community that I'm helping get more opened up to and like exposed, so we can all see that we're all human. We're all here to learn lessons and change and do our own thing. And key thing, anybody who's upset about you changing is probably a person who doesn't like change, and also is not comfortable with changing and doesn't want to change themselves. They just want to live with the problems and let everybody tiptoe around them. Just something I've noticed a little bit. So continue your healing, guys.